Good evening, Namaste. I am Dr. Rajashri, Radhas Ayurved, Hyderabad. Today we have gathered here for the topic Ayurveda for Her, the webinar series. So before starting the topic, I would like to tell that I am going to use a lot of Sanskrit terms today because to make understand the concepts of Ayurveda, these terms are very much essential. Without that, the concept is not very clear. And also, as this is for the general public, the entire format of webinars here is for general public. So I would like to tell that I am not going too much into the pathophysiology part and the treatment part. So primarily, why have we chosen this topic of Ayurveda for her when there are so many burning topics of medical field? Now, a great man once said that a woman, she is the basis of a healthy society. What does that mean? A healthy woman is the one who can take care of her children, the family, in a much healthier way and make the children and the members of the family contribute more to the society. So, in all the process, what happens is she forgets that she has to take care of her own self. So that is where we have given importance for her, and the reason why she might be, neglecting her own health, maybe because there is no much awareness about where she has to put a full stop and then go consult a doctor or take care of her own self. So, from a physician's perspective, let me talk about how a woman's health is concerned and why. The very first thing is Ayurveda basis is three dosha, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata dosha is very much essential for the formation, the basis for fetus expulsion, that is a child expulsion during labor, and also for bearing the uterus. Therefore, whenever there is a lot of vata increase in the body, in women especially, all this during her childhood to her reproductive age, what all the work she does, doing excess work, also stopping her natural urges like nature calls, and also eating meals at improper timings, all these elevate vata in the body, because of which there is a problem in most of the women during the childbirth. So this we have to avoid. How is that possible? As I just said, that you have to just understand the signs that the body has, and before that act, before the disease progresses and some chronic illness comes up. So late in a very old times, in the ancient times, or you can say a little decade ago, a decade ago or 2 decades ago, there was a concept of joint family all over India, all over the villages, and women were supposed to, they did it by choice or by a duty conscious thing. They had to cook, they had to take care of the family, and for all this reason, they were shy to project their illness out, or tell people that yes, I have some pains today, or tell people that I have some menstrual problems or some white discharge problems, some urinary infectious problems or something like that. They would probably not even recognize what is going wrong with them because they could not concentrate on themselves. That is where everything has started, and the things, it's like a, you can't call it a legacy, but then the same thing keeps on continuing. And today, even when girls are very much self-dependent and taking care of their own selves, they still do the household work, take care of the family, and then take care of their job. Even if they are housewives, they take care of the family entirely. The entire thing is on their shoulders. So even if there is a nuclear family, the same responsibilities of the work and the house come in. So that is where we have to make out if the disease that the patient comes, the wellness seeker comes to us, is due to a physical stress or a mental stress. Could be a psychosomatic one, or it could be because of some reason which she is facing physically as well. Okay. So even if we classify that working women have mental and physical stress, and housewives, it's not like housewives do not have mental stress. They have physical, mental stress as well. So uh, very important thing that plays a role in any person's health is ahara, as we say in Ayurveda, that is food, and vihara, the daily regimen, that is dinacharya, which Dr. Abhishek Lula spoke about in yesterday's seminar. And dinacharya is the daily regimen that we have to follow, that is propagated by Ayurveda, and these play a very good role, and they have to be followed since a very young age. In during the young age, let us see the scenario today. Teenage girls, they are very much conscious about their own health. How does all this happen? We see people eating a lot of junk food or outside food, I can say, which is very much most of the times rich in saturated fatty acids, which are not good for health. They are very difficult to be degraded, and because of which they are deposited in the body, and which cause very much harmful results to our health. And as they are not taken care of well, the health is not taken care of well, everything is shown when the disease progresses to a chronic stage. So let me tell you how this sets in the body. Like when there is some food which is high in saturated fats, kids consume or teenagers consume, then there are 7 dhatus in the body as per Ayurveda: rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, asti, majja, shukra. So very two dhatus, important dhatus, which we focus here today, are rasa and rakta. How is rasa formed? When food is consumed, this food is assimilated in the body, and when the assimilation process happens in our gut, entire GIT, gastrointestinal system. At that time, the rasa dhatu is formed, and rasa dhatu is converted into rakta dhatu with the help of other things like Agni and Ranjaka Pitta. So basically, that is it leads to deficiency of one or the other dhatu. That is, the tissue elements are reduced in the body, to be in a very precise way. So saturated fatty acids do not let the progression happen, and then they fall weak, and because of which they are tend to they tend to put on weight, and then they become obese. And when they get obese, what happens is, because of peer pressure, because of friends who are very skinny, they start thinking that yes, I am putting on weight, so I have to eat a little less. And then they get on to some unhealthy diet regimen, which takes a toll on their health. And due to all these things, less eating, overeating, both of these help. Both of these show the result on the hormones of the body. So this is where medical intervention is necessary. The family, the parents, whoever is taking care of, has to take care that the teenager is not very much influenced by all these things, and then doesn't resort to any unhealthy diet measures, and lifestyle abnormalities should not be set in. And yes, so many girls or women in the reproductive age, we see them suffering with anemia. Why is that happening? Because the rakta dhatu, which I just spoke of, which we say not exactly blood, but yes, you can understand with a blood component. So anemia is a condition where hemoglobin in the blood is reduced. So that happens when there is no proper iron intake, or no proper B12 or folic acid intake. There are many types of anemia. Let us not get into it because it is a very big topic, but all that can be evaluated. And understanding the science and all the, the human body is made up of, the way it functions is, it gives you an alarm. It gives you some signals when something is going wrong in the body, when some abnormality is just setting in. So it is essential to understand when this alarm comes up. Okay, if a girl tells you that she's feeling weak, and if the girl is looking very pale, I'm talking about the teenagers. If she's looking very pale, she's feeling very weak, giddy, headache, I suggest please take her to a doctor, because this is where she may be suffering with anemia. You never know. It is better that the physician evaluates and then tells you how her condition is and what treatment is to be done. If this is not taken care of, what happens is all the menstrual problems set in, like excess bleeding, less bleeding during menstruation, and PCOD is one of the thing which happens due to hormonal disturbance, which I just spoke of about when I was talking about junk food. So to avoid all these things, the main body alarms have to be understood. And then the menstrual disorders and all the other menstrual related stuff will be dealt in the next session next week. Let us go to the next disorder, which may be seen from childhood, I mean teenage, as well as in the women of reproductive period, white discharge or leukorrhea. It is called Shweta Pradara in Ayurveda. Generalized weakness, it is most of the times associated with, or the lady complains of itching. She doesn't understand if it is normal or if there is a, some abnormality happening in her body. So that is where she has to take care of her symptoms and then go directly to the physician or to a gynecologist, consult them and know what is happening. Because the dhatus which I just spoke of, they are reducing, and due to which there is a lot of white discharge happening in the body. Also, it may be because of urinary tract infections. Mostly it is seen in students, school going and college going girls, because of improperly maintained washrooms. And yeah, so that is where it has to be taken care of as soon as the signs or the symptoms set in. The next thing I would like to talk about is during the, let me talk about mothers. Mothers take care of their own children, be it babies or be it 30-year-old men or girls. They take care of their children, they take care of the family, they take care of, if they're working outside, they take care of their work as well. So what happens is, when the body tells you, I have a backache, when the body tells you that you have a backache, please wait a second, stop, rest, and then when you feel better, get back to work. I would like to put an example of an elastic, how an elastic works. When there's an elastic, it has an elasticity. Okay. When you pull an elastic, it is pulled to some extent. If you try pulling it harder, the last point where the elastic is pulled, that is the last point of its elasticity. Once that is pulled more, if you leave it there, it recoils. It gets back to its normal shape. If you don't leave it there, if you don't rest it there, it breaks. So that is the thing with our body. If the body is giving you an alarm, stop. If your body is telling you there is some abnormality happening, stop, go consult the doctor, know what is wrong with you, take proper treatment, or at least rest yourself when you have pains, and then get back to your routine. This is the advice I would like to give all the working ladies out there, and also to the male counterparts who can understand that when a lady is complaining of a pain, please ask them to rest. Yeah, so if this is not taken care of, for example, if a lady is suffering from backache and she is not taken care of that now in the very tender period of the backache, it will go to an extent of spondylosis. So we should not let that happen. That is why act early. And then these are all the acute to chronic stage, stages which happen, which can be still stopped. Next, I would like to talk about the disorder of digestion and acidity, which happens in most of the females these days. The main very important reason for this is, over intake of tea or coffee. The females are especially the ones who stay home, or also the ones who are working, also the men who are working, I must say. We are too much used to taking a lot of teas and coffees all through the day because we don't have time to eat. The housewives also have the same tendency. When they're working, they think that having 1 cup of tea is like better to appease the hunger, but that is not true. It in turn, it irritates your gastric mucosa and it causes acidity. In Ayurveda terms, I must say it increases pitta in the body, which is not good for your health. So do not take a lot of teas and coffee is my advice. And untimely and unhealthy food intake. Food should be taken when you are hungry, and food should be taken to a quantity where you are still hungry, not full entire stomach. I mean, full stomach full, right? And so the when you face any kind of problem as such, like acidity or any disorder in digestion, you feel like my food is not digested, do not eat. Eat only when you're hungry, because when you have an indigestion, you don't feel hungry. Okay? And when anything as such happens, please consult your doctor, go to your physician, and then start taking treatment for it. Unless you are okay with taking care of yourself, but then if you treat yourself at this point, then it will not progress to ulcers or in further stage cancer. Maybe you can prevent. The next thing I would talk about is constipation, which is also very common these days among ladies. This is a common thing among men and women, but I am covering this here because working ladies do not find, it any problem that I have seen so far. They don't think constipation is a problem. They think it'll be normal. But then when you feel that, you should understand that your digestion, your entire gastrointestinal system is going wrong. So go consult your physician. The next thing, the very last thing I would want to talk about is deficiency disorders of the body, like vitamin D, it could be. So for all these, when you have pains, when you know you have any osteoarthritis or any kind of deficiency disorders, please go and get your regular checkups done. It is very necessary. And apart from, yeah, I would like to throw a light on this. I have just spoken about excess eating, but I would also like to say that apart from excess eating and overworking, working less and eating untimely also is harmful, because that also is a reason where obesity may set in. So follow proper dinacharya, which is very much essential, and adequate sleep. Why adequate sleep is essential? Sleep should be per day 6 to 8 hours for every individual based on his or her prakriti, which is the body type as per Ayurveda. If there is no adequate sleep, there is no proper rest to the body, there is no mental rest, and there is a lot of possibility that psychosomatic disorders may set in. Then we just spoke about stress. The management of stress and other aspects are dealt with by Dr. Sharat Adanki in the same format of webinar. I would also like to add here that old age women, they suffer with urine incontinence, which maybe most of the times it is, a result of many childbirth and a result of where the uterus comes down from its position. So prolapse, we call it uterus prolapse. So it is one of the reasons of urine incontinence, and one of the reasons of many other disorders which are faced during old age as well. So any such abnormalities, any such discomfort is faced by the ladies, please consult your physician or your gynecologist. I would like to end my topic here by telling that I will be covering the same menstrual disorders, PCOD, and rest of the stuff in the next session. And also there are many other sessions informative. Yeah, so any questions? If any questions? We have kept the forum open for questions. Please post your questions. Okay, I guess there are no questions. Yeah, so I would like to conclude by saying to all the women out there, please take care of your health, keep your health a priority, and then also to the men to please take care of the ladies of the house. Thank you.